Hello, this is the presentation for our cloud computing mini project of MSc Big Data Science January 21 start. Names of the members are listed on the first slide. We'll start with the project overview. The objective of this project was to develop a backend application with RESTful architecture and to host that application on the cloud platform. It was also required to demonstrate sufficient coverage of services such as CRUD applications, CRUD operations, user authentication, access management, and authorization. It was also required to complement applications functionality with external APIs and to demonstrate the storage of data on cloud database, and also to display compliance with the REST response codes. And developing a front end was out of scope of this project. So let's now see the application overview. So our application is named as Word TV Database. It can be used to browse TV titles, and it can be used by anyone. And interested users can create their account and save their own personal list, which can be used as watch list. Registered users can modify their list of TV shows. And there is also a functionality of creating admin users. Admin users can actually delete other users, but ordinary users cannot do such operations. Technical features of our applications. It's developed in programming language Python using Flask framework. Application code has been hosted on GitHub. The cloud platform which we have used is Heroku Cloud Platform. We have deployed our application on cloud using auto deployment from GitHub, and database we are using is Heroku-Postgres. This is a screenshot of our app.py file, and there are other supporting files which are available on our GitHub repository. This is the screenshot of our GitHub repository, which has all our files and documents. This is the screenshot of our cloud platform. So it is visible clearly that our GitHub repository is connected to this application on Heroku Cloud Platform. And also, as it can be seen that the auto deployment option has been enabled. So as soon as we push something on our Git repository's main branch, it is automatically deployed on the Heroku Cloud Platform. Next, it is the screenshot of the database, the Postgraduate Postgres database on Heroku Cloud Platform. Next, we show that our application has total 8 endpoints. Browse endpoint actually allows us to browse TV show titles, and it can be used by anyone. Register endpoint is used for registering the new users or signing up the new users, which can be used by anyone. Login endpoint can be used by an existing user with the user ID and password. Logout also can be used by only the authorized user to log out from the application. Add to list endpoint can be used by an authorized user to add titles to the list. Delete from list similarly can be used by an authorized user to delete titles from the list. View list can be used by, again, an authorized user to view a user's list. And just we would like to highlight that all these operations can be performed by authorized users, means that user can do these operations only for himself or herself. The users cannot do these operations for other users. Delete user is an operation which can be performed by the admin user only, and that user can delete other users. For instance, if users are idle for a long time, those can be deleted by the admin user. Testing of our application has been done using the Postman tool, which is a very good tool for testing the APIs. Now I'll quickly switch to the Postman tool and I'll do a live demonstration of our application. This is the browse endpoint. So I'll quickly demonstrate that I can browse any title using our application. So here you can see the response returns the summary and the ratings, all those details of the titles. Now we can just quickly check any other title just to make sure it's working fine. Yeah, as you can see, the details are here. Let me quickly now go to the register endpoint. So here I'll register a new user named James. For simplicity, I'm just using a simple password, list name, all these details I'm providing, and when I execute it, I get a success message that user created successfully. I'll quickly go to our Heroku database and I'll go to the user data clip and I'll just quickly display the user which we have created just now. Sorry, I didn't. Yeah, check that. Yeah, as you can see, James has been created, and as it's visible that password has been hashed. So we are not saving a plain text password. Now let me try to log in with this user. So login response provides a session ID, which is a kind of access token, so that user doesn't have to authenticate again and again.
I have a question here.
Yeah.
What happens when you put a wrong password for a username?
So if I put a wrong password, I get an error message that username or password is incorrect. Now, since I've logged in successfully, I'll now go to the add to list endpoint and I'll provide the fresh session ID here. And I'll try to add one title to James list. Let me add one more title to James list. Yeah, so you can see that the title has been added. Let me
I have a
quickly,
question.
yeah.
What happened if a user decided to add the same title again?
Let me try that. And I get an error message that title already exists.
Great, thank you.
Let me go to the titles database and create a James list. So let me quickly run the query for James list. So we get the same titles in written. Now let me go to delete from list. So here I have saved for Tom, there's another user Tom. So we can quickly check Tom's list here. And it has these many titles. So let us delete Narcos from Tom's list. So title has been deleted. Let us quickly come to the database and re-execute this query. So we can see that Narcos has been deleted. Now let's go to view list.
What would happen if the title of the request is not present in the list?
So as we can see, Narcos is not there. Let's execute this request again. So we get an error message, the requested title does not exist in the list.
Okay.
Now, if I go to view list again, I'll view Tom's list here again using this endpoint. So I get two titles in written, which are same as here in the database. So this view list actually gave us that option. Now let me try to log out. So currently, I think we have logged in using some users. So let me try to log out for some other user. Let me try to log out Mary. So user logged out is the message. So now the last endpoint, delete user, which is an admin operation. So let me now try to delete a user. So we created a user James. So I'll delete two users, James and Sam. So let me go to the data clip user and let's first check James is there. James is here, yeah. So let's delete James first. So user deleted successfully. Now if I re-execute this query, I don't get anything in return, which shows that it's working. Let's delete Sam also. First show that Sam is there. So Sam is here. Let's delete him. He is deleted successfully. If I rerun the query, I don't get anything in return.
So what does the application do if the user tries to delete an account who is not an admin?
If user is not an admin and tries to delete, then he should actually get an error message that he is not authorized. So let me try to log in. Let me try to use some user who is an ordinary user. Let me quickly go to this user and let me use and let me try to delete this user. So Azan and Zikon are two users. So Azan is trying to delete Zikon. So first let us quickly check Azan. So Azan is a user and we can see the Azan's role is a user role. And we also check Zikon is an existing user so that the request is valid. Yes, Zikon is a user. Let's quickly try to do that. So we get an error message, no authorization to delete users. So that's it, the post for the Postman demo. Now quickly go to show that we'd like to showcase the achievements of our project. So we have successfully shown that our application follows REST standard and issues appropriate response codes to all the requests. Our application is also hosted on cloud platform with auto deployment, which makes maintenance very easy. And also we are serving our application on HTTPS protocol, which makes secure data exchange possible. We are also using a cloud database for persistent storage, which we have very successfully demonstrated for all the operations. And we have also shown that our application provides authentication and access management services, such as users can create accounts and authenticate at login, and passwords are hashed, and different levels of admin and ordinary user access is there, and only intended user can access their content. And application makes use of API, external API to browse. When we are browsing the data of titles, it is actually calling an external API to get the title details. And application code is very well documented, and a separate specification document is also delivered, which can be used to extend the application further. Now, to finish off, we would like to also suggest some future applications, future extensions to our application, which could be like using the multiple dynos, which are virtual machines on Heroku, and load balancing can be added to the application. And further services can be implemented, like front end can be implemented to serve the application to end users. And we can also provide services like video trailers subject to copyright protocols. So that's it. That's the demo of our application. Bye.